Molt cara Companyona, most dear companion. Journey with me 639 years in the past. To the Crown of Aragon, the region of what is today Spain, centered in Barcelona and stretching northward into southern France and southward to Granada. There, a king and queen ascend to the throne. Their predecessor had ruled for 50 years, and now, finally, Joan and Violant have the chance to rule. I'm Jonathan Seyfried, a PhD candidate in history at the University of New Mexico, and I'm the host of The Historian's Notebook, a podcast about how history is made. The first season of the podcast is titled Molt cara Companyona, most dear companion. The podcast will be short daily episodes taking you into my research process. The title comes from the way that King Joan I of Aragon and Queen Violant de Bar started their letters when writing to each other. Although other medieval couples wrote to each other using tender phrases like this, Joan and Violant, they took it to another level. For them, the phrase evolved over time to become a mantra. For example, in one letter, dated November 8th, 1391, Joan thanks Violant for sending him a bottle of lovely perfume and asks her advice on some matters of governance. He begins every sentence of the letter with Molt cara Companyona. With Joan and Violant, we have the chance to investigate an emotional history that might have been quite unusual. And that's because the two of them supported each other in bending the gender rules for a manly king and a womanly queen. But how could we support that argument? Well, there's something that certainly helps, and that is the vastness of the archive of the Crown of Aragon. One of my major goals for this season of the Historian's Notebook is to demonstrate how historians navigate through an abundant archive. Something unusual for medievalists. The archive of the Crown of Aragon, today located in a very modern building in Barcelona, holds over 6,000 bound volumes of documents from between 1200 and 1800. For the reign of Joan and Violant, over 250 bound volumes survive, with the overwhelming majority of them containing around 300 pages. So we're talking about at least 60,000 pages of letters, treasury records, and official proclamations, all handwritten in a script that takes a while to get used to reading, and that's kind of an understatement there. Over the last 20 years, the Spanish government's Ministry of Culture and Sport funded a massive digitization effort. The result is that a gigantic number of the bound volumes in the archive of the Crown of Aragon are available online for anyone to look at. No other archive in the world has as much available online for the 14th century. So, on Season 1 of the Historian's Notebook, I'm going to take you with me as I attempt to construct a narrative out of documents from the first year of Joan and Violant's reign. We'll look at a document for each day of that year, 1387. In the end, I expect that I will have changed the way that I see their marriage and their reign. My favorite scholar of historical thinking and history education, Sam Weinberg, has argued that, quote, true historical inquiry must end where it begins, with a question mark, unquote. Get ready to experience that feeling and that understanding and experience of history with me every day for every document. In that sense, you can think of the motto of this podcast as dissatisfaction guaranteed. Certainty will always elude us, not just on this season, but on all the seasons of the Historian's Notebook. But even though certainty will always elude us, the challenge of piecing together the puzzle of the past grips us with excitement and mystery. Starting on December 25th, 2025, join me for Molt, Cara, Companyona.